Song. Stranger, you who hide my love in the curved cheek of a smile, and sleep with her upon a tongue of soft lies that beguile, your paradisal ecstasy is justified by hunger of all beasts beneath the overhanging cloud, who to snatch quick pleasures run before their momentary sun be eclipsed by death. Lightly, lightly from my sleep she stole, our vows of dew to break, upon a day of melting rain another love to take. Her happy, happy perfidy was justified, since compulsive needs of sense clamour to be satisfied, and she was never one to miss plausible happiness of a new experience. I, who stand beneath a bitter, blasted tree, with the green life of summer joy cut from my side by that self-justifying knife, in my exiled misery were justified, if upon 2 lives I prayed, or punished with my suicide, or murdered pity in my heart, or 2 other lives did part, to make the world pay what I paid. Oh, but supposing that I climb alone to a high room of clouds, up a ladder of the time, and lie upon a bed alone, and tear a feather from a wing, and listen to the world below, and write round my high paper walls anything and everything which I know and do not know. 4 poems about children. Empty House. Then, when the child was gone, I was alone in the house suddenly grown vast. Each noise explained its origin away, animal, vegetable, mineral, nail, creaking board, or little mouse. But mostly there was quiet of after battle round the room where lay the soldiers and the paint box, all the toys. Then, when I went to tidy these away, my hands refused to serve. My body was this house, each plaything that he'd touched, an exposed nerve. To my daughter. Bright clasp of her whole hand around my finger, my daughter, as we walk together now. All my life I'll feel a ring invisibly circle this bone with shining. When she is grown far from today, as her eyes are far already. Missing my daughter. This wallpaper has lines that rise upright like bars, and overhead the ceilings patterned with red roses. On the wall opposite the bed, the staring looking-glass encloses 6 roses in its white of eyes. Here at my desk, with notebook open, missing my daughter makes those bars draw their lines upward through my mind. This blank page stares at me like glass, where stared-at roses wish to pass through petling of my pen. An hour ago there came an image of a beast that pressed its muzzle between bars. Next, through tick and tock of the reiterating clock, a second glared with the wide dazzle of deserts. The door in a green mirage opened. In my daughter came. Her eyes were wide as those she has. The round gaze of her childhood was white as the distance in the glass, or on a white page, a white poem. The roses raced around her name. After Stefan George, mein Kind kam heim. My child came home. The sea breeze still curves through his hair. His tread still rocks from fears withstood, and his young lust for faring. The salt brine spray still burns along the bronze bloom of his cheek, fruit quickly ripe, in foreign sun savage with haze and flame. His gaze is weighed already with some secret hid from me, and softly veiled since he from spring into our winter trod. So open burst this budding forth that almost shy I watched, and forbade mine the mouth that knew another mouth as kiss. My arm surrounds him who unmoved from me for other world blossomed and grew, my one, my own, endlessly far from me.
This is a poem with the epigraph from Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet, earth-treading stars that make dark heaven light. Romeo and Juliet is full of contrasts between darkness and lightness, sometimes used in a very contradictory and paradoxical way, and that's why I chose that epigraph for this poem, in which also there's the question of why light is called light and dark is called dark, is sort of rhetorically asked and answered. How can they call this dark when stars that all day long the sun ruled out show brilliant at the ends of space? Journeying down centennial rays, those antique worlds stand in Earth's air, the coruscating helmets of warriors born before the births of Greeks who chose their diamond names. All day the sun paints surfaces, commander of dial hands pursues the flying instants of last fashion. But when night comes and windows hew gold oblongs out of distances of solid sky, the park becomes the fulgurous centre of the city, drawing from lonely streets the lonely under its boughs. There in each other, beyond their coverings of clothes and names, they see flesh blaze, and then those pasts they were before they were themselves emerge, ape, lion, fox. Their mouths conjoined, they utter cries that once gibbered upside down through branches, before woods ever dreamed of huts. But two there are who look so deep into each other's night, they see yet further than their meeting bodies and earliest, most brilliant star, to where is nothing but a vow that is their truth. Those instruments of world-made flesh they wore to prove before all change their changeless word. Seascape. There are some days the happy ocean lies like an unfingered harp below the land. Afternoon gilds all the silent wires into a burning music for the eyes. On mirrors, flashing between fine-strung fires. The shore, heaped up with roses, horses, spars, wanders on water, walking above ribbed sand. The motionlessness of the hot sky towers, and a sigh like a woman's from inland brushes the instrument with shadowing hand, drawing across its wires some gull's sharp cries, or bell or shout from distant hedged-in showers. These, deep as anchors, the hushing wave buries. Then from the shore 2 zigzag butterflies like errant dog roses cross the bright strand, spiraling over sea in foolish jars until they fall into reflected skies. They drown. Fishermen understand such wings sunk in such ritual sacrifice, recalling legends of undersea drowned cities. What voyagers, oh what heroes, flamed like powers with helmets plumed, have set forth from some island, and them the sea engulfed. Their eyes, contorted by the cruel wave's desires, glitter with coins, through the tide scarcely scanned, while above them that harp assumes their size.